Hi everyone, welcome to Arctic Explorers. Today we're going to get to make an Arctic fox. But first, let's learn a little bit about the Arctic fox before we make our craft. So I checked out a book because I didn't know a lot about the Arctic fox, so I checked out a book from the library. We have a lot more on foxes and Arctic foxes in particular. You would look in the call number 599.775 in the nonfiction collection to find more information. So Arctic foxes live very far north in the world. See, up in the northern part of Asia, the yellow part is where Arctic foxes live. All around Greenland and the top of North America there, that's where they live. And it does even say that the Arctic fox is a very uncommon animal. It lives farther north than any other land mammal in the world. Wow, look at that. Let's talk about their coats. During the summer, it says that a fox's coat is brown and gray and thin, and then in September, the fox's coat starts to grow thicker. Its color also changes. By November, the animal has very fluffy white fur to keep it warm. Then at the end of winter, the fox sheds its fur and grows a darker, thinner summer coat. So this is an Arctic fox with its thick winter coat. The fox's different coats come in handy when it's hunting. The winter fur blends in with the white snow. Look at that, it does blend in with the snow. You can barely see it. The brown and gray coat can't be seen against the rocks and dirt of summer. This camouflage allows the fox to sneak up on its prey all year round. Look at this picture. This is an Arctic fox's coat between winter and summer. See? So it's going to shed all that white and then have the dark fur. So look at this is its in-between coat between winter and summer. And this is the thinner summer coat. So this is still an Arctic fox, but with its thinner summer coat. Maybe you have a dog at home and they have to shed their coats based on the season. So that's what an Arctic fox, it lives where it lives and what its coat looks like. I bet you have lots of other questions, so be sure to check out a book on Arctic foxes or look it up if you're interested. Look at this beautiful picture on the cover. So this is the craft we are gonna make. Looks just the same, right everyone? Kind of. So I'm gonna show you how to make the fox. You should have a paper plate that's cut in half in your kit that you picked up at the library. So you'll have that. You'll have a bunch of little cut up pieces of white tissue paper. If you don't have enough, this was just white tissue paper, so maybe you have some lying around, you can just cut it up into little squares. You're gonna have a little nose, some googly eyes, and then you have all this extra white paper, and I'll show you what that's for. You have extra white pieces of paper, and I'll show you what all that is for. But first I want to show you how to make the body of your fox. So this is what your fox looks like, just as a reminder. So this part is going to stay the same. One half you just keep the same, that'll be the body. So to make the head is like a triangle. So you are going to take this corner and fold it up like this. There you go. And if it doesn't work, just keep pressing it. And then take this corner and press it up. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're just trying to get a triangle shape, like a slice of pizza, kind of like that. So I just took this corner and folded it up, and this corner and folded it up. And then I pushed down. There we go. That's the head of your fox. So now you have your body and your head. And so to get them to stick so it looks like this, you're going to take some tape. Is probably best. You could also use a glue stick, but something to really stick the head on. And the head goes just about here like this. So it looks like this is the head, and you want it up a little bit, and this is the body. And so I'm gonna tape that part on. So I'm just putting tape right there on the back to tape it on. And I'm also going to tape my head part shut so it doesn't gap open like that. So it'll be like that. You have the head of your fox and the body of your fox. Okay, now the next part you're gonna do is you're gonna take your glue stick and take all these little pieces of tissue paper that you have and glue them all over the body. So you'll put them all over the body of that fox. So you'll see mine has a bunch. I did it all over the head part, and we'll talk about the tail in just a second. So right now you'll glue all those over. It takes a bit. I will recommend that you put a lot of glue on here. I'll show you how I did a couple. Take this and you put a lot of glue on. So I've really put some glue on there, and now I'm gonna just stick on you'll stick on your tissue paper, just like that. Okay, so you will finish gluing all of the little pieces of tissue paper on to your fox, all over the body and all over the head part. Then you can put that aside once you're all done with that. Then you're gonna need to make the ears. So for the ears, you're gonna draw on you have a piece of white cardstock. You're gonna just draw 2 triangles. I just drew these freehand. If you wanna trace them, if you have a ruler and wanna trace out 2 triangles. And then you'll cut those out, cut out your ears. Here we go. And we can put those aside for just a sec. The other things we're going to cut out are the legs. So for the legs, it kind of looks like 4 rectangles, kind of long rectangles like that. So I took my cardstock and I kind of traced out 4 rectangles, and I'll cut those out as well. One, 2, 3, and 4. These don't have to be perfect. Your ears and your legs, and next we'll do the tail. They don't have to be perfect. They just have to look how you want them to be. And if you want to try, you don't like it the first time and you want to try again, that's fine too. But every fox looks different. So your fox can have short legs or long legs. It can have big ears or small ears. So the tail shape is kind of an interesting one. I'll show you on my sample here. Here's my fox. And for the tail, I kind of did, it's sort of like a half circle like this. You could also make it look a little different if you want. Here's a picture of an Arctic fox's tail to give you a little inspiration. So now I'll cut out this tail. Now you'll have the body right here, and you'll flip it over to put the ears on. The ears go right on the back right there, and I'll tape those on as well. Okay, and then we need to tape on the tail and the legs. I didn't finish putting on all my tissue paper, but of course you would already have done that. So the tail will go right about here, and then you'll also cover this with more tissue paper. You'll use your glue stick and more tissue paper on here. And then once you've done that, you can trim it down. So if your tissue paper is too big, you can trim around it. So I'm gonna put that on. There's the tail. And then 4 legs, which kind of go, I did 2 in back and 2 in front, like this. But you can do it however works with your fox. Ooh, got it caught right there. I'm gonna do 2 on the back here too. So you'll see you have your ears, your legs, and if you need to trim them down, you can, your tail. And then, like I said, you'll put more tissue paper all over the tail, and then once you've done that, you can trim around the tissue paper of the tail. Then the last things you need to do, I'm sure you can figure out, are gluing on the 2 eyes and gluing on the nose. So I'll go ahead and do that part. You want to use a lot of your glue stick to get these eyes on. Okay, and a lot of your glue as well to put this nose right on the corner of your pizza triangle right there. Give it a second to dry, and you'll have your Arctic fox. And you can take your scissors and trim around that tissue paper. See, I have a little bit here. I haven't finished putting mine on, but I can trim that so you get a nice and neat outline for your fox. So you should be all done with your Arctic fox. Thank you for joining me today for Arctic Explorers. I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to post a picture of your fox. I'd love to see it. Bye!